Welcome back to episode 46 of Oxygen Not Included, everybody. We have finally gotten all of the gases pulled out of our double petroleum boiler. Made a couple little changes to it. I'm still tweaking it. I added in some mesh tiles here made out of steel that let this liquid expand over. I was thinking maybe that would help me with when the vacuum pockets form, so that they don't cause pressure issues inside here, which I've been having, where um, it causes things to break a little bit. But we're just going to let that keep running, see how it goes. We'll keep checking in on it, see how things are going. We started pumping out this area now with the gases. So that's not what we're focusing on today. I do want to show one other thing before we go on. I added in a system here for the steam, because letting it cool down by itself wasn't working because I was just pumping more and more steam into it. So what I did, and my game is lagging just a second for me to show it to you, is instead of venting out the steam, I ran this pipe all the way down here, and it goes down below our base to this system. And I'm having a little bit of issues in here that I still need to work out, but basically I expanded this system so that there are 6 steam turbines here that are sucking up steam like crazy. So these things were creating more steam than it could handle anyway, so I wanted to expand it, and I thought I would set up a system to put the steam into here from up there and let it process. Let me pull these tiles out so I can go in there and fix that. But it's slowly processing all the steam out of that power sauna so that we can get it back to operating. But there's still a lot of tweaking to do to it. But we have so much water coming through that we just don't know what to do with it. Like, we have water backing up here for days. It's actually backed up above the pump, so our salt water is not actually pumping water in, and so many issues that we're having. This is full. We can't make it into oxygen fast enough. But those are all good problems to have. If I'm going to have problems in Oxygen Not Included, having too much water is always a good one to have. So you can see that the steam up here is slowly going away. It's almost gone. A couple layers left to finish. It was all the way down to here at one point. Heat's still going like crazy, but you can see how cool this area is getting. So once we expand that cooling up higher, it's a battle here. The cold air is fighting against the hot air. It's pretty crazy. But that is also not our focus for today. Our focus for today is to go back into space. And I was having issues where I didn't have enough range on my rocket to go out to explore the outer edges. It was a simple matter of putting in a second fuel tank. Now my rocket has 20 tiles of range. So we're going to stick with the crew we have. Let's crew our rocket and then view the interior. It's going to take a minute for our pilot to come on board. Let me check the rest of the launch. So all we need to do is clear a launch path, set a destination, get the pilot on board, and then we're set. I think I still have... When Toby came back from her last trip, I put her on vacation because she was severely stressed. So she had a very long vacation. Okay. So, things we need to change. We need to unequip her suit. We need to set this bed to Toby. That's already set. That's good. We need to check everything. We have plenty of food. We have algae for oxygen. We got rad pills. We got everything ready to go. I still have... What do I have in here? Organic. Just algae. Oh, I guess I still have the plastic and dirt still in here because they're just sitting around. I haven't gotten them swept up yet. That's fine. No problem. So we're ready to launch, which means we need to go back out to our colony. We need to open our doors. Why do I still have this set to off? I want you to close. Or on, I mean. Okay, so we need to retract our gantry. Okay. The last thing we need to do is select a destination. So we're going to change our destination. And what I want to see, I need it to be, we can go all the way to here because that's a distance of 6 tiles. We'll have time to get back. So I'm actually going to go to right here. So the rocket's set to go. Everything's good. Begin launch. So now we don't have any cargo storage or anything like that. So I don't know that, we're not going to be able to actually go and mine anything. I still have the artifact module on, so that would be okay. But this trip, we're just going to head out and we're going to see how it works as far as our cartographic module being able to map our area. So hopefully we'll get here. I'm hoping that means it'll map all these areas, and then I will move over to here so I can map these 2 unknown objects that are detected and expand our field of view a little bit. For this to get to its destination, it's going to take us 2.4 cycles, and Toby will be just fine in here for that amount of time. She is back to her schedule so she can do the work that she needs. Yep, she can sleep. She can get to her generator. Everything's good. So we're going to let her go. Let her travel out, and we'll come back in a couple of cycles and check on that. While we're working on that, I'm going to just plan out a few things that I want to do. I want to increase our Slickster farm. And what I'd like to do is make it go on the entire left side of the map and build it vertically up. That way all the oil just drops down and then it gets collected here and it gets pumped right in. To do that, that means I need to move our industrial block. I need to move our filters. I need to move both of these. I need to move this tank, and I need to move our petroleum tank. Our teleporter we can't move, so we'll have to work around that. But so that's quite a bit of things to move over. It's going to take a lot of time. It's not a big deal. We're just going to move them over here, but I want to come up with where I want them to be finally and what improvements I want to make while I'm doing it. So I'm going to do that for the next couple of cycles and plan out. I'm going to start with the industrial block because that one is pretty easy. A couple of other things I want to add in here. I added a space for the molecular forge just to play around with it, see what I needed. The answer to that is I need to get graphite and I need to get iso resin so that I can make things. And then I need to get niobium if I want to make thermium. But this is taller than any of the rows I had in here, so I had to expand it down. So I want to make sure I have space for the molecular forge in the new building. I also want to make sure I have space for us to do all the new things, the diamond press. I want to set up our oxalate refinery in here. Even though it's not a hot process, I want to be able to move that down here so that I can do the storage of it and everything. And then the glass forge I don't have yet. I want to set that up so we can start producing glass. So this needs to be replicated somewhere else, but also expanded upon. And I feel like we did a great job as far as learning what we wanted to do here. The natural place to move this to is that I have my power spike, main power spike, oops, wrong button, coming down right here. So I can make my power go vertically again and then put that industrial block right here. I'll remove this vacillator. Even though I'm actually starting to get recharges for that, but I'll still remove it. It's fine. I'm not super worried about that on this playthrough. And then we'll build it here and work it around this. figure out exactly how we want to do it. But that's going to take some time. We'll work on that in between episodes probably. I don't think we need to show rebuilding the same thing over here. I'll just show you when it's done. But I'll come back once our rocket has reached its destination and we can do a little more exploration. Okay, our rocket has made it to our destination. I was sort of hoping that the cartographer's expansion, I don't know what it's called, the cartographer's module would view what's in blocks around it, but it looks like it's just the blocks that it passes through. So we have 15 tiles left. So if we go, this is a little unwieldy. If we go to here, that's going to be 2. And then that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get back. So I think we can make it all the way to here. So let's do here. And yeah, I think we'll be okay if we send the rocket to this destination so we can see both of these blocks, and then we'll come down through here and return back. While that trip is going on, I am building the basics of our power spine to build our new industrial block. I'm just going to make it a little larger than the other side, and we're going to make some improvements to it as we go. Like I said, I'm not really going to show construction of this. I'm just going to show it once it's finished, because we've already seen building an industrial block. Just seeing what we have in it will be more than enough, I think. So I'll be back once I have some more stuff done and we have finished mapping out that small section of the star map that we are doing with our rocket right now. Okay, we have something exciting to show off. We have discovered Obsidian. It's our third asteroid in our colony. So I have not learned a lot about what all this stuff means yet, but the lux I know has to do with how much the solar panels can produce, and the radiation obviously is pretty self-explanatory. This one has higher radiation than our starting asteroid, a lot higher peak light too, so that means that it would be good for some solar panels here. We have a niobium volcano on this asteroid, which is great. That's one of the things we wanted to get. We have a magma biome, a space biome, and a niobium biome. So let's go and oversee this planetoid just so we can see what we're looking at. So it looks like the magma is right at the top, which is going to make things interesting. And we can't really see much else until we land here. So what we're going to need to do is head back, and we're going to have to build a rocket that is designed to land on an asteroid without a rocket platform. And we're going to have to make sure that the vessel that we send has enough supplies to last and build what we need to build a rocket platform to relaunch the rocket. So that'll be an interesting challenge. But I think we're up for it. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do about all the magma. I know that I can build some pumps to move them around, or bottlers, but we'll see. We'll see once we get here. We'll figure that out. Not exactly the easiest of asteroids to see, but so what we may do for now is just continue to explore our star map until we find out what all the asteroids around here are. Maybe start on one that's a little easier, but we'll see. We also found another swampy ore field, which we already had some similar ones like that. So this one has polluted dirt, mud, and cobalt. Cobalt ore is nice, so we have a source of that now. I think we already had a geyser for it, but we found an organic mass field that has slime, algae, dirt, and polluted oxygen, which we could collect. We grabbed the artifact from this ore field while we were there. If you remember, when we grab an artifact, it takes a certain number of cycles before you're able to grab them again. So right now we have one of them in our rocket. So what we're going to do I want to figure this out. So I have 10 tiles left. So if I go here, then I can still travel back and use up all my fuel exploring the area. So I want to go this way so that I can map out these 3 tiles. So we're going to send the rocket over that way. That'll take 4 tiles. It'll leave us 6, and it'll be just enough to make it back home, which will be great. So we're going to let that keep going, and then we'll plan our next steps. So I'll be back after the rocket is back home on our main asteroid. Toby's coming back in for a landing. This time I remember to tell her to put on her suit, so hopefully she doesn't die. Here comes the rocket, heating everything up. Okay. Let's close our bunker doors. I don't know if we're going to have enough power to do all this. We're having problems with stuff. Hey, Toby made it back without scalding herself. Rocket's already refueling. Yeah, we definitely melted our power wire. We need to work on fixing that so that doesn't happen. But, well, we made it back. We have our artifact that's going to get analyzed. We have a lot more to explore in our star map. I ended up not just coming directly back. I figured I'll actually hit these when I go out to grab the artifacts in these spaces. But so basically I'm going to get my rocket refueled back up and probably send it up to check out this object and go from there. But we have a few things we need to do to fix it first. I want to make it a little more little different on the inside. The Spacefarer module, the way it's currently set up, is functional, but when Toby came back from here, you can see her stress was at 95%, and that was just on a 15-day journey. So definitely, it's clear that her skills are too high for the morale she gets inside this rocket capsule. And I want to fix that. Let me pull her down. Let me pull her up down here, so you can see that she's using up all these skill points because I have her for. I have to have all of this to get her to Rocket Pilotry 2, which I don't really need Rocket Pilotry 2. So what I'll probably do is cut her down so that she just has exosuit. That'll give her Rocket Pilotry. But to do some of the other things, I'm not sure if I need her to have telescope usage for the rocket. I think the rocket will just examine as it goes. Not sure. That's a question that we need to figure out. But what I can do, rather than just reducing her morale need, is I can change some things up in here to make this whole system work just a little better. So it'll just take me some time to figure that out. So that's probably what I'm going to focus on in the next episode, is redesigning our Spacefarer module so that our rocket can stay out in space a little longer without Toby getting so stressed out that she starts to have problems. So for now, I'm going to have her head back in. I'm going to disable the bed here so that she won't try to sleep in it. She'll go back and set her bed back in the colony, and then she'll only come up here if she's doing work. I want to clean out the space capsule. I want to get the gases all flowing the right way they need to be and get everything done. So we should disable this one as well. That way people don't come up to use the bathroom in the rocket. So now everybody will go do their thing. They'll just come up here to refill and empty the rocket, and that'll be good. But so I want to check out, did they already bring my artifact down? Sure looks like they did. Oh no, that's a vacillator recharge. So I can't remember if I need to assign. Do I need to pull the artifact out of here manually? Yes, I do. That's what it is. So I remove that. It's down here. Now somebody should go and grab that and bring it down for it to be analyzed at our artifact station. And that's one more artifact done that we need for our achievement. I'm still not quite sure what the difference is between the artifacts that they say are terrestrial and space. I mean, obviously where you get them is the thing, but I don't think it shows anything. So I think we just need to get 10 artifacts from space, and then we'll have to get 10 artifacts off of the asteroids themselves. So we'll get that done, but a lot of things to work on between now and the next episode. I'm hoping to have at least the industrial block finished and and then we'll spend the next episode working on our rocket to design it to go to some other destinations. So I think we're going to call that for today on this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Gives you an idea of what we're going to be spending the next few episodes, probably next couple of weeks, to be honest, with all the space exploration we need to do. But I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.